Hey guys, sorry that it has been literally a hot second since I popped on here and made a video. As you can tell, I just got home from clinical and this semester has been a lot. But I'm here and this video comes actually as a request a month and a half ago. I'm super sorry about my process of actually getting to CRNA school and kind of what my path and what my journey looked like. So, when I was in high school, my first job was a patient care observer and a tech in a hospital chain that had basically 5 hospitals along the Jersey Shore, and I was mostly up in the ICUs. So I would sit with the patient or do tech things, and that's kind of what my first taste of critical care was. So I was just like so enamored by these nurses and how they could manage all the things, like all the drips, all the machines, all the stuff on the patient, and they like literally moved with precision. Like it was so incredible to watch, and I knew that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to do something like that. And at that point, I didn't really know what a CRNA was or what they did. I had heard about it, just like researching nursing, and sometimes they would come up to the ICUs and drop patients off, and I was like, wow, that person, like, that's a badass. But I wasn't sure if that was actually what I wanted to do or not. So I applied to nursing school and I got into the College of New Jersey. And there we started in the nursing major there. It wasn't like you had to take any prerequisites. So I basically was able to start clinicals my sophomore year. And I got involved. I became a resident advisor. So I worked with all different types of people. I lived with the freshmen for 3 years, and I think just working with different walks of life kind of really helped me in my transition to being a nurse, where you work with patients from literally all walks of life. And I did Student Nursing Association as well, so I was able to actually get involved with what nursing as a whole really meant, and I think that really was helpful to me. My junior year, so my school didn't offer a preceptorship, so if you wanted, more than just the clinical experience, you would do an externship. So I did an externship in the neuro ICU at NYU, and that was like a huge eye opener for me because it was so much more involved than anything I'd ever done in clinical. And I loved it, although I found out that I didn't love neuro. I loved the critical care aspect of it, and I shout out to all the neuro ICU nurses out there. That wasn't really my vibe, but I loved how they would recover their patients, and just, you know, everything worked so smoothly up there, and they were just so in tune. And I got more insight into the CRNA role because the CRNAs would come and bring patients to the unit, and I was like, wow, these people are just amazing. Like they just blew me away, to be honest, and I knew that was something that I wanted to do. So I looked more into it, and I realized that I definitely for sure needed to work in an ICU. So the neuro ICU externship really helped me land a job in the ICU because I had that experience. So I applied everywhere my senior year. I applied to California, I applied to Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, Maryland, New York, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. And I ended up in one of the surgical ICUs at Johns Hopkins. So I accepted a job in March of my senior year, and then I took the NCLEX. So basically from the end of my senior year until I think I took the NCLEX in June. All I did was basically study for that test because I had signed for a job that basically was impinged on the fact that I needed to pass this test. So I took a review course. I think I took Kaplan. It was helpful. I'm pretty sure it was Kaplan. And I did Uworld, which I think was even better than Kaplan. It's just like a huge question bank I remember the rationales were like insanely good. So definitely recommend those 2 things. I think the Uworld helped me tremendously. And that's really all. When I graduated, I studied for about 3 to 4 weeks straight in the library. It was awful, I'm not gonna lie, but I passed and moved to Maryland almost immediately. And the transition from, like student nurse to actual nurse was hard. I think starting out in nursing is just hard in general. And then you're starting in the ICU where these patients are really sick and there's a lot going on. And you think, oh my God, I only have 2 patients. Like, how is this hard? It is tough. It was rigorous. There were days where I thought, I don't think I can do this. I would come home and just cry. But then I got over it, and I really wanted to learn more, because there were days and rounds where I was like, I have no clue what they're talking about. So I would go home and I would look up things. I would look up these weird patient things. I would look up ventilator stuff, and it really helped me. And then I became more involved in my unit. I ended up becoming the super user for CRRT. And then I taught the PA catheter for a skills day 2 years in a row. And I think those things all really helped me. And then I shadowed a CRNA as I was applying to school. And it just kind of sealed the deal for me. I think it was just such an amazing experience, and so many schools make you do that anyway. And I just right there and then I knew that was what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So I did that, and then I took the CCRN, I believe, when I was about 2 years in. And I think most schools want that anyway, so, I mean, it's just a given. I studied for it mostly just using the past CCRN book, and it was fine. I've always been a little bit weaker when it comes to respiratory. It just makes my brain sometimes go like... But I really studied up on that part, and I passed the test, and I think right after I passed, I took PALS, and then I applied to school. So I applied to school with about 2 years of experience, knowing that by the time I got to school and started, I would have just shy of 3. And I knew there was only one school I wanted to go to, and that was Penn. And I was so blessed that I somehow got in. And I talked in another video about studying for the interview, but basically I just studied my tail off for 2 weeks. I took some time off of work to get ready and just mentally prepare as well as emotionally. And I got in, and now I'm almost done with my first year. So for anyone out there that thinks that it seems so unattainable, I'm here to tell you that it is most definitely not. When I was applying to nursing school, I got a second review. I had to go in and basically re-interview and show them why I would make a good candidate. So what I'm basically saying there is, don't be disappointed. Don't get upset with yourself. Everything will fall into place. I truly believe that. You just have to be patient with yourself. And if you really, really want something, you'll work for it. So that was basically my path to how I got to where I am today. It's not easy, and just being in school is just not easy, but it is so worth it. And I said that 4 months ago in other videos, and I stand by it. It is definitely every day is different and challenging, but it's worth it. And when I feel like, oh my God, I can't do this, I remember back when I was in college and this is all I wanted. So just a little bit of positivity for y'all. Good luck. I hope this video helped, and reach out if you ever need any questions. Bye.